Today is 21st of December 2022.
Is that the first day of winter?
Yes.
The equinox, the shortest day of the year?
The winter solstice.
Okay.
Good morning, Buati.
Good morning.
What are you making?
We're making a variation of tuna noodle casserole for the passage. That way it's mostly all canned stuff. We pre-cooked some pasta before we left the house so that we didn't have to do it on the boat. Ran into a little problem though. The salt air must have rusted the can opener, and I just basically twisted this apart. So we gotta get another can opener before we can open the last 2 cans of tuna. But yeah, it's like 2 cans of golden mushroom, can of cream of celery, can of peas, 3 cans of tuna, can of mushrooms, and then normally you sprinkle this cheddar cheese and Ritz crackers on the top and put it all in the oven. That's why it's called casserole. But we're just gonna put it all in the stove, cook it all up, and then we'll basically just let it sit here. And then whenever we're on passage and we want to have something good to eat, we just scoop some out, heat it up, and we're good to go.
Okay.
Less to do. That way we don't have to eat cold sandwiches. But we do still need some comfort food.
Yep.
Get some cookies or something.
And chips.
You know, whatever my Buati wants while we're sailing to Slovenia. Slovenia. Never been there before.
Me neither.
But I hear it's nice. I don't know, maybe we'll decide to get another dock there. What do you think?
Parum pum 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 Mari berlayar.
So tell me about this journey.
Sure.
Yeah, to go back.
Well, we might have a little wind. We'll see if we can put a sail up at some point. First time during the daylight, because we don't know what we got. There's been a lot of things that are breaking on this trailer, so we don't want to risk trying to pull the sail out and then a line breaks and then we have the sail stuck out. Of course there ain't gonna be any wind anyway, according to the forecast, unless we get an unforecasted bora.
Oh no, don't wish for that.
Why would anybody wish for that? Anyway. Alright, so we only got 1 can of tuna in here so far until we get another can opener.
Okay, so are we going to heat that up
No.
before? Oh, we wait until this.
Until we're ready. I just wanted to get rid of the cans because we're going to get rid of, drop the trash. And that way we can get rid of as much trash as possible before we shove off the dock. So what you think about Venice?
It's nice. I wish we explore more.
I said we could stay another day, but you're like, nope. I've seen enough.
I didn't say that. You always make your own reality.
I lost the noodle behind the stove. That'll be in there for years now.
Oh my goodness.
You'll be petrified by the time somebody pulls the stove out.
The port mice might get it. Okay, so you stir.
Yeah, and still. I put the peas in last, that way they don't get all crushed up.
Okay, and we will see when it's done. And we are off. We're going out from Venice, from St. Helena Marina. It's around 11. Yeah, surely we hope we still get a lot of daylight before we sail again in the dark with questionable running lights. What do you say, Bonnie?
Yeah. Yes. This looks like a nice wooden boat. Pirate ship. Yep, had a good stay in Venice.
Say again?
We had a good stay in Venice. Got this cargo ship in front of us in reverse.
Oh, careful! And they just sitting comfortably.
Wait till this ship passes.
And the traffic is pretty high. There's another ferry or water buses. Yeah, what do you expect? Venice is a water city, so a lot of water travels, boats, ships, water taxis, water buses. Sometimes they just go crazy, speeding like speed demons. Another one coming from there. Water bus.
Hey. Guess when you do it all the time, you can be confident like that.
Another hazy day. No clear horizon. Like the sky and the sea, just one blur line. I don't know. And it's not even line there. And we're just motoring. No wind. See the flags? No wind. Alright, so this is what the supposed to be tuna noodle casserole.
Yes. At sea.
At sea.
With the autopilot at the helm.
Yeah. It's autopilot, so we can both sit here and eat this delicious meal. Alright, today is 22nd of December 2022. So, last night we arrived here, or early this morning we arrived here at 2:30 in the morning and looking for an anchorage. This is Ankaran in Slovenia. Yeah, so we didn't go back to Trieste yet. Just try to go to different place before we go back along the coast to Trieste. Anyway, when we arrived here, it's pretty dark in here. There are lights in from the lands, but not from these sailboats. Look, those sailboats don't lit up their anchor lights. Even this as well. This is where we dropped the anchor. I didn't really see uh, until we dropped the anchor, and then yeah, we realized, oh, there's a sailboat there. And then when we settled ourselves, and then we realized there are these two other sailboats, and now we realize there's another one. And yeah, of course, it's pretty adventurous. And when we came, we saw all these big ships there. Oh, what is it? There. Yeah, they all well lit up like Christmas tree. It confuses us, of course, like is that land or a ship? But here we are. Thank goodness we arrived safely. Now we just take a rest, especially Monty. Yeah, before we go back to Trieste. Okay, Bahati, how was it? Our adventure from Venice to here, Ankara in Slovenia.
Oh, it was good. Did we already talk about the one going to Venice?
Yeah, we did.
Okay. So what, we left at 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
11 o'clock. Started heading across the Adriatic. Of course it got dark. Yesterday was the shortest day of the year. So we did about 2/3 of it in the dark. What, 9 hours? Got 9 hours of
9 hours of darkness.
night sailing. This time Bahati stayed in the cabin mostly.
And the running lights still not working.
Replaced lights on the bicolor up front on the bow, and still didn't work. So we was riding dirty. Luckily there wasn't a lot of shipping at all. I mean, I passed a really big container ship about 2 miles away, and then when we came into the harbor here, there was a lot of anchored boats, giant boats.
Like Christmas tree.
Yeah,
'Cause
so we had to
it's all lit up.
navigate through that anchorage in the dark, which is pretty interesting. But everything went perfectly to plan. I mean, the course bearing was good. Took us right to the anchorage. Got here, dropped anchor, saw a couple boats,
After we drop anchor,
and then
we realized there are other sailboats.
you already got video of that, right? So yeah, it looks like it's a pretty popular anchorage for good reason. It looks like it's pretty protected here. And now we are only about 6 miles away. We got to go out around
The coast.
a little peninsula that juts out. A West Cardinal buoy is out there. We'll get around that. Come back up into Italy, back to San Rocco Marina, get gas. Probably do a little bit more docking practice. And then we just spend the night on the boat.
Yeah, and tomorrow we have to return the boat.
Well, it'll already be returned. We have to return ourselves
Ourselves?
to Germany.
Oh,
So hopefully our drive back over the Alps will be better than it was the first time. That was probably the scariest part of the whole trip. Was
maybe just take toll road
driving over the Alps
for the Alps part.
in the snow.
Alright. Anything else you want to say?
Well, I think this boat is ideal size for us to live on. We have a whole extra berth back there that we didn't really use, that if I had a boat this similar size, I could have that space as like a storage area, workshop.
Or my plants.
Yeah, no. You get one plant. It fits right here. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe you get the plastic ones.
Oh my goodness. You want to add plastic in our life.
So that Royal Weisman we looked at was 39 feet. So that would be like similar in size, but that would be a much better boat. This Elan 38 was it's an alright boat. There's no room in the bilge really. Like as soon as you lift up the floorboards, it's like about that much bilge space down there. It's definitely not a blue water boat, but it can get you across the Adriatic twice.
Crossing the SS travel, whatever.
Traffic separation scheme.
Traffic separation scheme. And we're leaving Ankaran.
Ankaran.
Ankaran, yeah.
Sounds like anchor.
Maybe that's what it means.
Maybe.
From anchor.
Maybe it's a historic anchorage. Probably all this. I mean, you can see the big commercial vessels anchored out here.
Big commercial vessel anchoring out. It's cloudy and
So
hazy.
we got another day of 0 wind. So our sailing trip turned into a motoring trip, but we got to do a lot of navigation, especially at night, which was good for me. Especially going over, we did plots every hour because I wasn't confident in the boat's equipment. But on the way back, most of the way over, we were a little bit further offshore, so there was less things to run into. Fishing boats and fishing buoys and whatnot. So we only did 2-hour plots last night. And every time I do a fix, and it was usually just GPS fixes, I could reference lighthouses from distant shores. It's usually like this lighthouse over there to the south has like a 30-mile range.
Yeah, we cannot see the lighthouse now. It's too hazy.
Yeah, well, it's not on at daytime. It might be today because it's so. But we cross-reference points on land and buoys when we saw them. But I'd get a fix every 2 hours, and I'd see the heading that we or the bearing that we had over the past 2 hours, and then I'd do a little adjustment on my autopilot, +1 or -5 or whatever to keep us on track. And it came out perfect. I mean, we just came right up into this anchorage, right to anchor on. Dropped the hook. The anchor chain wasn't marked, so we just threw a bunch of it out. When I put the anchor up this morning, it probably had too much anchor chain. But there wasn't any wind, and luckily it didn't just lay on top of itself and get all knotted up on the bottom. So it all came up. And now we are just going to ride the 10-meter contour line around this little peninsula and go back to San Rocco Marina in Italy. It should only be about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. And then we'll fill this thing up, start packing up our stuff, and have one last night. Tonight we're going to have spaghetti marinara, shrimp marinara. Been hanging on to this shrimp all week. And then tomorrow we do another road trip across the Alps.
Okay, which one do you like better? Planning with timing the arrival, so like you time the arrival in the date or in the when the sun comes out.
So our first crossing over to Venice, we timed it. Every time I did a fix, I'd do an estimate of based on our boat speed and how far we had to go, so that we would get there right at daylight. Because I didn't want to go into a busy harbor that I've never been to at dark at night. And I like that because then I didn't have to worry about finding an anchorage, which probably would have been really difficult to do around Venice. I don't think that they just have nice anchorages that sailboats can drop anchor around all those commercial ships. But possibly this was a lot more relaxing because then you can just drop the hook. As long as there ain't any foul weather that's pushing you into a lee shore or something. Generally the winds, when they're strong, they blow from the northwest. So that's a great anchorage for that because it protects you. And that way if you drag anchor, you just drag out into open water, which isn't such a big deal. But yeah, last night was nice because we got back. I could get a good night's sleep, and now I just go around the peninsula here and go back home to our home port.
Okay.
But I know which one you like. Which one did you like? The one that you had to do shifts, or the ones where you just made me coffee?
The second one.
Yes. But that's the way it should be. Shouldn't. I think whenever we do long passages when we're retired, we're probably going to have crew to help us out.
Or not in cold weather, how about that?
Well, you can't control the weather.
Well, we don't sail at that time. How about that? If we know
Well,
the temperature is gonna be soft.
Whenever we're retired, we won't be on a timeline.
Yeah.
When we were chartered, you gotta use the boat for the week you chartered it. So you got what you got. So when we're retired, we just hang out for months until the right weather, until the wind and the currents are taking us to where we want to go.
Bagus. Okay, those are mooring buoys. So all this yellow stuff. So I guess, or we guess, this is where they keep the mooring buoys for the winter before they deploy, put it back during the summertime. Wow, like hundreds or even thousands. Wow. So we are back in San Rocco, Trieste, and we, as normal, we plug into the shore power. But what is new in this marina, new to us, that they have a system that you pay as you use it. So yeah, you got a USB, some kind of USB, and then you plug in and yeah, punch, and then the electricity will come out, and yeah, and when you go, you plug it out, and that's it. You get charged based on your usage. It's nice in concept, but it's just too complicated. Why don't, yeah, I don't know, it's, for us it's too complicated. We're back on the road.
Yep.
Yeah. So overall, what do you think, Wati, about this charter experience this time?
It was expensive.
Too expensive?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because we had to motor everywhere, so we spent a lot of money on fuel, and then it was cold, so we had to spend money on electric to heat the boat while we were docked.
Whenever we're in marinas, yeah, and that cost us. I mean, this pay per usage scheme is new for us, right? Like for the electric in the marinas. We never have that before. It seems a good scheme because you just pay as you use it. But then again, we cannot, what do you call, measure it, like how much we need, because we have to put money first in the USB stick. And one time the electricity just cut off because the money runs out. So are you a fan of this kind of system or not?
No, I think it should just be wrapped up in your dock fee.
I know, just like daily fees.
Like we didn't pay for electric over in St. Helena,
No,
and this guy's paying for that dock.
I know.
So maybe it's different for transient boats that are only staying a night. Oh well, it is what it is.
I know. And what else you want to talk about?
Well, we drove down in a snowstorm going over the Alps. That was pretty stressful. We felt like we had to get here. But then when we got here, the whole first day was too windy to go anywhere, so we really didn't have to get here. And then after that first day, there was no wind at all, so we had to motor everywhere. Got a couple good night passages. That's
what counts.
Yeah, that's what we got out of it. We got to try out a new boat, a little bit bigger boat. You got a lot more docking practice.
I like that.
And we got to visit Venice, and we got to anchor outside of Anchoron, Slovenia. So chalk it up to another experience, I guess. But this one was a more expensive experience than what I had hoped for. So now we go home, and I start studying again for my yacht master tests. Then we'll schedule coastal skipper.
Okay. Anything else? No?
The sun started coming out. Now it's foggy again.
Yeah, that's our luck. Whenever we sail or we visit a place, we don't get the nice weather. No, that's not true, but yeah. Okay, that's a wrap.
Boom.